I am Mohammad Taposh Khan, Assistant Teacher, English, Bree High School. Welcome my dear students. Today I will take class on tag questions for the students of class 9 and 10. You know, in our exam we have 5 marks in tag questions, though it is a bit easier than other topics, but you need to take special care on it because we don't want to lose any single marks on these topics. At the very beginning, after the completion of this topic, students will learn what the tag question is, about auxiliary verb, about the rules of tag question, about the uses of tag question. All the 4 items will be included in my topics. First of all, read the sentences carefully. First one, I am a teacher, aren't I? You are good students, aren't you? Let's go to study, shall we? Every mother loves her child, don't they? He is not reading at this moment, is he? What is the sentence about? These sentences are called tag questions. So, what is tag question? At the very beginning, we need to know the definition of tag question. A tag question is the question asked by the speaker to confirm the negative or affirmative statement during conversation. Through a tag question, the speaker wants to have an answer in support of the statement. That means a tag question is a question asked by the speaker to confirm whether his idea, whether his sentence is affirmative or negative, and it is used during the conversation. Through a tag question, the speaker wants to have an answer in support of the statement. If the statement is affirmative, most important topics of this most important word of this topic is that if the statement is affirmative, the tag question is negative, and if the statement is negative, the question tag is affirmative. You have to remember these topics at the very beginning. These are the basic things, that if the statement is affirmative, the question tag is negative. If the statement is negative, the question tag is affirmative. As we have taken already some classes on these topics, you have some idea regarding this. I think if you go through your books, it will be more clearer to you. Now example, they came here, didn't they? They came here is an affirmative sentence, you know. For this reason, we have used this not. Again, they came here is a past indefinite tense. Since it is a past indefinite tense, we use did. If it was a present indefinite tense, then we will use do or does according to the subject. Then they did not work hard. It is a negative sentence. You see that there is not here. Since it is negative sentence, our tag is affirmative. Again I repeat, they came here, didn't they? They came here is an affirmative sentence, so that our tag is negative, didn't they? And here they didn't work, it is an affirmative sentence, so our tag is did they, affirmative. So what we see that if the statement is affirmative, rule will be auxiliary verb plus not plus subject and question mark. I repeat, if the statement is affirmative, rule will be auxiliary verb, not and subject. And if the statement is negative, the rule will be auxiliary verb plus subject plus question marks. You have to remember all these things. Then in the tag question, the auxiliary verb is very essential. So I will discuss about the auxiliary verbs. Do you know how many kinds of auxiliary verbs and what are they? Look at those auxiliary verbs. Mainly there are 2 kinds of auxiliary verbs. They are primary and modals. Primary are 3 kinds. They are be, have and do. Be verbs are am, is and are. Have verbs are have, has and had, and do verbs are do, does and did. I think all you have idea about these topics in your previous classes. Then the primary auxiliary verbs change according to subject. Example, I am a boy. I am a boy, he is a boy. Here, since according to the subject we use am, and according to the subject we use is after he and am after I. Modal auxiliary verbs are may, might, can, could, shall, should, will, would, must, ought to, need. The modal auxiliaries verbs will not change according to subject. That's mean modal auxiliaries will always remain the same. It will not change. So I can do the work, can is a modal auxiliary. At the same time he can do the work, here can also a modal auxiliary. So here important thing you have to remember is that the modal auxiliary verbs will not change according to subject. The be verb and auxiliary verb, that's when be verb, have verb and do verb may change according to the subject, but auxiliary verb never changes, remember. Now in the tag questions, auxiliary verb always use contraction mode. You have to remember it that we always use contraction mode. So I will show a chart about it. Am not and its contraction form aren't. Are not, aren't. Is not, isn't. Was not, wasn't. Were not, weren't. Like this. We have to use these kinds of contraction form in every situation. Shall not, shan't. Will not, won't. Should not, shouldn't. Would not, wouldn't. In this way we have to use the contraction form. We must not use the full form in the tag question. Remember, full form will not be used in tag question in any situation. It will be a wrong idea. So we have to add, we have to use contraction form in the tag questions. In this chart, we have learned that auxiliary verb will be always a small letter, and the auxiliary verbs will always be in the small letter. You have to remember it that all the auxiliary verbs started at small letters. Now, in the tag question, in the question tag, the subject will always be pronoun. Remember that we will use only pronoun form as subject. Whatever may the subject be, we have to use the pronoun form of the subject. If the sentence has primary or modal auxiliary verb, the rule will be auxiliary verb plus subject plus question mark. I have to look at the examples here. I shall learn it. I shall learn it. Here we have shall. So we have already learned the contraction form of shall is shan't. Since the sentence is affirmative, we have to use shan't, and our subject is I, so I have to use I. Again, Rohim is a good student. Here we have auxiliary verb is. We use is and it is an affirmative sentence, so that we have to use not, and of course contraction form is not, and Rohim since a boy, for this reason we have used he. If here is Rohima, then we will use she. That's when we have to use pronoun form. We don't use any noun or other forms. If the sentence has no auxiliary verb, we will use do, does and did. If there is no auxiliary verb, a primary auxiliary or modal auxiliaries, in this situation we have to use do, does or did according to the tense of the sentence. For example, I eat rice, don't I? It is an affirmative sentence, at the same time present indefinite tense, so that we use do, and affirmative sentence, so we use don't, and our subject is I, so we use I and question marks. Then he did not go to school yesterday. Here we have did, so we use here did, and it is a negative sentence. For this reason our answer will be affirmative, so we did not use not here, only did, and our subject is he, so we use he. So our total answer is I eat rice, don't I? He did not go to school yesterday, did he? Dear students, some words such as, remember these words, you have to remember this because these topics are very important, and these are usually very common in your SSC exam or in your school exam. Some words such as never, rarely, scarcely, seldom, few, little express negative meanings. That's when these words are, you have to remember these words: never, rarely, scarcely, seldom, few, little. These ideas express negative meaning. If these words contained in a sentence, these words always give a negative idea, tag question will be positive. That's when if we find these word in a sentence, it will be a negative sentence. So whenever we will use tag question tag, in that situation our tag question will be positive. Example, he is seldom found at home. He is seldom found at home. We have the word seldom here, so it is a negative sentence. For this reason, whenever we will use tag, we have to use affirmative, so we use is, not we have not used not, because it is a negative sentence. Then I have a few friends. I have a few friends. In Bengali, I have a few friends means আমার বন্ধু নেই বললেই চলে, নেই, আমার বন্ধু নেই, that's mean it is a negative idea. So whenever we will use tag question, we have to use affirmative idea, have I. Remember, again I repeat, never, rarely, scarcely, seldom, few, little, these kinds of things express negative meaning. Since it is negative, our tag question will be affirmative or positive. For example, he is seldom found at home. This means তাকে বাড়িতে পাওয়াই যায় না, তাকে বাড়িতে পাওয়াই যায় না, negative idea. So our tag question will be positive, is he. Again, I have a few friends. আমার বন্ধু নেই বললেই চলে, negative idea. So that our tag question will be affirmative, have I and question marks. Now, if the words such as nothing, anything, something, everything contained in a sentence, subject will be it. Remember, thing always refer to material, something material. That's mean nothing, anything, something, everything. If you got anything in the sentence, in that cases you have to use it instead of this nothing, anything, something or everything. For example, nothing was done. Nothing was done. Here was is our auxiliary, so we use was, and nothing refers to negative idea, so that we will not use negative form here. We have to use positive. So was and nothing, instead of nothing we have to use it. So our answer will be was, it and question mark. Again, everything is our favor. Everything is our favor. We have here we have got everything, so we have to use it, and we have here is, and everything refers to affirmative sentence, so that we have to use the contraction form of not. So our answer will be is not it. Our answer will be is not it. Again I repeat this topic since it is very important. Nothing, anything, something, everything. If you got anything, in that cases we have to use it instead of nothing, anything, something and everything. Then according to the auxiliary verb we have to use other rules. Suppose for example, nothing was done, was, and nothing is negative, so we have to use only it instead of nothing, and everything is our favor. In that cases we have to use is here auxiliary, we use not, is not, and instead of everything we have to use it. So our answer will be is not it. Then if the words such as everybody, anybody, somebody, everyone, someone, anybody, nobody, none, etc. contained in a sentence, that's mean whenever any words indicates any person, any man or any person, in that cases instead of that word we have to use they. Remember, everybody, anybody, somebody, everyone, someone, anyone, nobody, none, in this word we have to use instead of this word they. For example, everybody hates a liar. Everybody hates a liar. Instead of everybody we have to use they, and since it is an affirmative sentence at the same time present indefinite tense, so that we are use don't they. Since we have to use they is third person and plural number, so we don't have any, we cannot use does, so we have to use don't according to the pronoun they. An affirmative sentence, since it is affirmative sentence we have to use not contraction form. Again, nobody went there, instead of nobody we have to use they, and went there is past indefinite tense, so we have to use did, and nobody gives negative idea, so that we cannot use don't, didn't here, we have to use affirmative form. Then if the sentence is imperative, question tag will be will you. Remember, if the sentence is affirmative, question tag will be will you. For example, open the door, will you? Let us play cricket, shall we? Now, except we, all the plural subject will be there in the tag question. For example, birds can fly, birds. Fishes can fly, fishes can't fly. Actually, birds can fly, can't they? Fishes can't fly, our answer will be can they. Our main topics is that birds plural, so that we have to use they, fishes plural, so that we have to use they. And now, let us practice some topics. According to our practice, let's do the work. What will be the answer? Shall we? I found a little water in the jug. I found a little water in the jug. Did I? Rohim could play football, couldn't he? Let him do the work. Didn't he? Make the above. So I think all of you can understand those 5 questions. Now, homework. Open the window. What will be the answer? It is an imperative sentence, so our answer is will you. He is an American, isn't he? Nothing was said. So we have already read this idea. Was it? You should help me, shouldn't you? I think all of these will be easier to you, and you will be able to understand, and you will make this homework easily. So all the I am going to complete my classes, and my suggestion to you is that all of you have to read at home attentively and sincerely, because I think we will very soon our school will open, and you have to participate in different exams. Don't waste time, stay home and keep safe.